Hey, my name's Flo and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about polycystic ovarian syndrome, what it is and my experience with it. So let's get going. So firstly, what is polycystic ovarian syndrome, or it's quite often referred to as PCOS because it's just a little bit less of a mouthful to say. So polycystic means many cysts. Cysts tend to be blood, pus or fluid-filled sacs. Ovarian because they tend to sit on the ovaries, and syndrome is lots of different symptoms or characteristics that are put together to make up the syndrome. Everybody's different when it comes to symptoms. Some people have one, some people have all of them. It's really just different on a case-to-case basis. But they tend to range from irregular periods, struggling to conceive, being excessively hairy, being able to gain weight very easily but not being able to lose it. The list just goes on and on. I personally am very hairy, we all know this. I struggle to lose weight, but I can put it on very, very easily. I'm very acne prone, but I will talk about that in a minute. I have very oily skin and my periods have been irregular pretty much my whole life. I was diagnosed when I was around 18, but it did take me around 4 years to get this diagnosis. I'd been to and from the doctors for years because I think when I was maybe 7 or 8, I was watching a program, I'm not sure what it was, but there was a lady with polycystic ovaries stood there in her underwear and I could see the hair on her body and I thought, I look like that. Do I have it? But I just put it to the back of my mind thinking, surely I don't have that. I can't have that. But as I hit puberty and I started my period, I think I started to realise that I definitely did have it. So I went to the doctors, but they don't like diagnosing people under the age of 18 because you may just go through puberty and come out of it the other side and not have PCOS. I had blood tests, I collected urine, I had ultrasounds, I saw so many different doctors and eventually I got the diagnosis. PCOS is something that you can't just get rid of. It will be with you for life. There's lots of things you can do to try and help yourself, but again, because this is a very personal thing, it doesn't work for everybody and it is a case-by-case basis. One of the main ones that's supposed to help us is weight loss. Obviously, I'm now on this lifestyle change and hopefully once I lose a bit of weight, my symptoms may reduce a little bit, but I don't know this. I'm just trying to do this to benefit myself and make myself a little bit more healthy. I don't know too much about the medical side of it, but I know that it kind of mimics diabetes in the early stages. So I was put on metformin when I was around 18. This is the starter drug for diabetes and I'm not entirely sure what it does because it was a long time ago, but soon after I started taking it I had a cyst burst on my ovary, and because I was in a lot of pain I had to go to hospital. I just ended up not taking them. I think I took them for 2 or 3 days, but it's something I'd like to try again in the future, but I'd need to speak to my GP about it. I cannot even describe how painful it was having a cyst burst on my ovary. I was doubled over in pain for about a week and a half. I couldn't go to college, I couldn't go to work, I just really wasn't having a great time. There's unfortunately not a lot of treatment in areas like that. You just kind of have to wait for your body to absorb the infection and just go over it. I've also suffered with really bad spots pretty much my whole life, on my face, on my shoulders, on my back. They've always been there, and it really got to me at school when half of my friends had clear skin and I just really didn't. I've recently finished the 3rd course of antibiotics to try and clear up the spots on my face, and touch wood, it's worked so far. I know it's not going to be perfect and that there's things I have to do on my end such as skincare, eating healthy and exercising to try and get it to clear completely, but for the most part they've done a really good job. I think I went on the contraceptive pill when I was around 14 to try and control my periods. They were super irregular, they were so heavy, I'd have to have days off school, and sometimes they did help, but for the most part it just made them worse. So the day before my 19th birthday I had a Marina coil fitted. It's a little T-shaped bar with some strings. It's put into the wall of your uterus and it stays there for 5 years as a form of contraception. Now this has worked really well for me. I've not had a period since they've put it in. I had a bit of a nightmare at going in. My blood pressure dropped so low because it's just a pressure you've never felt before. So me and my friend Emma had to stay in the doctor's surgery for about 2 hours waiting for me to recover before we could go home. As far as I can tell, I didn't really put on a lot of weight once going on it. It didn't affect my moods, it didn't make my spots worse, it just cleared up my period. So once this one's run out, I will definitely be getting another one. But again, this syndrome is so unique to each individual, it's not necessarily going to work for everybody. In terms of coping, I've said it before in a previous video, but I can't change the way I look overnight, so why should I let it affect me? This absolutely does not define who I am as a person. I've still managed to go to university and get my degree, I've learnt to drive, I've got great friendships, and polycystic ovaries has not stopped me doing any of that. PCOS doesn't really change who I am on the inside. It's not really changed my personality. Someone messaged me on Instagram the other day asking if I think I'm the fat friend, and honestly, I am the biggest out of my friendship group, but that's not why they love me. They love me because they all know they can walk into my house without knocking and no one will bat an eyelid. They love me. Do you mind? They love me because they know that I can't sing when I'm drunk, even though I think I can, and they encourage me to do it anyway. They don't love me because of my syndrome, they just love me because I am me. Some days are worse than others. Some days you won't even want to get out of bed because you feel you look so bad, your period will be so heavy, your hair will be so greasy, and you just won't want to do anything, but you can't let the bad days keep you down. You've got to get back up and get back on the horse. And I'm a firm believer in the fake it till you make it mentality. If you pretend like it doesn't bother you, one day it will just stop bothering you, I promise. I'm part of a support group on Facebook and I absolutely love it. You can talk to other people, see how they're coping. You can all get advice off each other, so that's a really good way to go about things too. because you're not alone. There's always people to talk to. Go and see your GP, go and talk to your best mate, go and talk to your mum. Someone will listen to you and someone will talk to you, and it's a lot more common than you think. And that is everything. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you've learned something, and I hope you've realised that it doesn't define who you are as a person. If you do have it, give it a big thumbs up, leave me a comment, let me know what you're going to see in future. If you've got it, let me know your experiences, and I'll see you later. Bye.